Hey, hi. Hello, everyone. So, I'm Shravan. So, I'm the joiner of this course. This course is completely belongs to Azure Data Engineer. So, before that, let me introduce myself. I'm Shravan. I have totally 12 plus years of experience into IT industry. So, I worked on multiple clouds like AWS and Azure and DevOps and also development background like .NET. Okay. So this course is completely belongs to Azure Data Engineering. So in this course, I will cover different tools like Azure Data Factory. It is one of the ETL tool and Azure Databricks and PySpark, SQL and Python. Okay. The course duration is 60 days and the timings is 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. IST. Okay. The course duration is 60 days and the timings is 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. IST. Okay. So in this course, I will cover more than 20 plus real-time use cases in the Azure Data Engineer. Whatever we are doing, our daily activities and project related real-time use cases, I will cover more than 20 plus real-time use cases. Okay. And most of the lab I will conduct by using the ChatGPT only. Right. And I will train you how we are going to get the solutions from the ChatGPT based on our client requirement or else. And also every day we are delivering the our sprint based work items, right? So our work also will get the solutions from the chat gpt. I will train you. Okay, right. So I will conduct these sessions from Monday to Friday, right? Monday to Friday, and the timings is 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. IST, and again the course duration is 60 days. Okay. So every weekend means Saturday and Sunday, I will conduct the workshops, means projects or as migrations or any important new concepts. Okay. I will conduct more than 2 hours for especially for weekend workshops. Okay. Once we begin this course, right? So we will start by discussing the basics. Okay. So I will cover the following topics, basics like on-prem to versus cloud and Azure cloud and regions, zones, portal creations, hierarchy, subscriptions, resource groups, and VNets, storage accounts, and keywords. And also I will cover this ADL SGN tools and how we are going to inject this entry information to the keyword, what type of replications available, right? So first, we'll discuss about this basics. Okay, right. After this basics, I will start the Azure Data Factory concepts, right? The first one like Azure Data Factory portal creation, sorry, service creation, right? Once the workspace is workspace is launched, so how we are going to launch the workspace. Once the workspace is launched successfully, then right, we have the different types of options available in Azure Data Factory like integration runtimes, link to services, data sets, pipelines, activity. So we'll discuss each and everything in detail. Okay, there are different types of integrations runtime available. Based upon a business use case, we'll go for so whether, for example, if your data which is available in within the cloud services, we'll go for the Azure integration runtime. Or if your data is available in on-prem, we'll go for the self-hosted integration runtime, right? This integration runtime is act as a gateway, right? Like a gateway to provide the connectivity from the source to destination, right? The next important service is link to services, that we can call it as a simply a connection string. Just it's going to authenticate whether you have the valid access or not, something like. Next, we have the data sets. So data sets is going to represent data. For example, I have a huge amount of data within in different folders. I want to access particular data in particular folder. This data set is going to represent the data, which folder you want to access or which file you want to access. It is going to represent. Next, the pipelines, right? So the pipeline contains the n number of activities. I will explain each and everything activity in detail. We'll see the real-time practical scenarios. Like there are multiple activities available in this Azure Data Factory. Depends upon our use case. So we'll go for the activities. Okay. Some labs, I will show you the simple one copy activity. Some labs, I will show you the multiple activities, right? So we have different types of activities available like lookup activity, get metadata activity, filter activity, if, for each, copy, store procedure, right? Nested for eaches and switch activity. We will discuss in details. Okay. Next, I will start with some scenarios. Every day, every project. So we are doing some everyday normal user stories, right? We are doing normal works. So I will cover that type of scenarios as right. The first scenario is we are going to filter the we are going to select the filter activity in ADF by using a dynamic copy. Next, how we are going to get the file names from folder dynamically, and next copy activity behavior, and how we are going to copy the data from source to sink by using ADF, right? How we are going to connect the on-prem SQL server, how we are going to move the data from on-prem to SQL databases. And there are two types of methods available in this ADF. Like first one is the full load. So at the initial time when we are doing the migrations from the on-prem to Azure, first we are going to do the full load. Full load means so entire the dump data we are going to load from source to destination. After that, right? So every day the data is keep on insert into the source, right? So we are going to add the latest data, not for full data. Means full data already we are copied. So now we are going to load the latest data. So with the help of incremental load, uh, we can achieve the latest data. So for each and every topic, so I will share the document and video and screenshots, right? And design and also scripts. Okay, for example, let me open one of the full load concept here. Full load concept, I will cover the multiple scenarios. Okay, for this full load, and this is the design for the full load, how we are going to load the data from on-prem to Azure. And we'll follow the some estimations. Means when we are doing this any task, so we need to prepare some estimations. Means we need some resources to achieve the our solution, right? So here we are giving the estimations based upon our requirement. And also this document having the lab means scripts, right? It having the procedures, SQL related things, and each and every activity. I shared the screenshots. Okay, I have added the screenshot in this document. Just instead of watching the video and pause the video and you are trying to do your lab, right? So it will take some disturbance at the time of the video watching and doing your labs. So simply you can open the document and see the screenshot and just you will finish your tasks. Okay, just I have added this each and every screenshot step by step. Okay, step by step. Just you can see the screenshot and just you can do your work. Okay, right. Okay, like this way. So every lab it's related to real time only, not for it is a simple things. Everything it will be complicated somewhat every day. Whatever we are doing our work in project, it's somewhat complicated, right? So I will explain in detail and easy way. Okay, this is for every topic I will share the documents. For example, let me show you one of the important topic, that is incremental load handling by the upper and lower bound values, right? First, we'll discuss about the design. After that, so we'll execute the SQL scripts, right? And also based upon the screenshots, we'll follow the procedure. This is the first step. Next, we'll go for the second step. Next, we'll go for the third step. We'll do one by one, right? So based upon this document, I will design the flow and will achieve the solutions. I will share the screenshot after the class. Okay. So for every topic, I will share the documentation. Okay. So once the ADF is completed, parallelly in the ADF, we need the SQL basics. Okay. These SQL basics important for ADF as well as Databricks. So at the time of writing the Databricks into the notebooks, so we need the basics about the SQL and Python. Okay. So I will cover the SQL basics and Python basics from scratch level. No worries. Okay. So we have the different types of triggers available in Azure Data Factory, like event-based trigger, schedule trigger, tumbling window trigger. For day 2, day 3 onwards, I will include one by one trigger based upon the scenarios wise. So I'm not going to waste the each and every topic every 1 hour. So all the topics I'm going to mix into every session so that we'll finish our course as soon as possible. Okay. After the triggers, so we have the data flows concept, like how we are going to create the pipelines. We have the data flows, right? Data flows means simply we are applying the multiple transformations based upon the business use cases. So how we are going to join the multiple transformations, advanced joins, conditional splits, how we are going to remove the duplicates, how we are going to check the conditionals, rank, dense rank, row number. Depends upon business use case. We'll go for this one by one. Um topic. Okay. So in the ADF, I will cover the slowly changing dimensions type 1 and type 2. Same thing type 1 and type 2 we'll discuss in Databricks as well. So once the ADF is completed, we'll go for the Databricks. So first we'll start the Databricks introduction and Databricks creations. That means the workspace creations, clusters creations. There are two types of clusters available, like all-purpose cluster and job clusters. So all-purpose cluster means the fully whatever we are doing the everyday day-to-day development activities, right? It must and should be run on 24/7, right? So we'll discuss in detail and Spark as well as PySpark architecture, right? How the Spark is working, right? Once our code is completed, when we submit the code into the Spark, so how the Spark is going to behavior. So what are the components available in the Spark architecture? We'll discuss in details, right? And also we'll see the notebooks, how we are going to write the notebooks, how we are going to execute the sales, right? Uh, we'll see the widgets and we'll see the DBFS. DBFS means Databricks file system, right? How we are going to connect the multiple sources into the Databricks. So DBFS is one of the source, okay? And also we'll see how we are going to read the and write the data from different sources like blob storage or ADLS Gen2 or SQL databases. And also we'll see the different types of formats like Excel, Parquet, XML, JSON, all right? So we'll see the things easily. Okay. Next, we'll discuss in detail about the PySpark. Okay, PySpark introduction architecture, and I will cover the data frames only, not for RDD, because most of the projects. So nowadays they are implementing data frames only, not for RDD. There is no scope for RDD for current projects. Okay. Next, we'll see the joins and types and different transformations, functions, and delta tables, right? Slowly changing dimensions, type 1 and type 2. And also parallelly, we'll discuss about the Python as well, because so I will cover the Python basics at the time of this PySpark or else Databricks sessions. So because whatever we are writing the PySpark code, right, to going to read the data from different sources. So we need to know about the Python basics like loops, data types, variables, exception handling, methods, right, lambda functions, right? Okay, we'll discuss in details each and everything. Okay, we'll see the slowly changing dimension type 1 and type 2 and